we live?
I don't know. You tell me. Chat,
Um,
are we live?
oh, wait. I see it pop up. Okay. Thank you for the screen share.
You're welcome.
Okay. Right now, I'm just currently waiting for the live chat to reappear because, like, I've noticed that, like, YouTube likes to take its sweet time loading the stream chats lately.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I gotta get this. I think I gotta get OBS updated or something. I'm not sure. Okay, it looks like we're live.
Yeah, apparently they can hear us loud and clear. Hello's.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our casual live stream. My name is Jordan Scarsfava. My pronouns are they/they. I am an agender voice actor, illustrator, and content creator. Y'all have seen me quite a lot on Chazzy Oliver's channel, but in general, I am known for my works as Celine from Celine and Cheswick, Ziria from the Obsidian Archives, and Dendy from Alice in Blankland, and I'm also one of the co-creators for our upcoming audio drama, Tales of Annualia.
Yes.
Go ahead and introduce
right.
yourself.
Right, sorry. Hello there. My name is Steven. Some people might recognize me as HyperVoiceActing. Just like Jordan, I am also a freelance artist and voice actor. Some people might recognize me. I'm also from Celine and Cheswick. I am the voice of Cheswick. I'm also the voice of. I'm also. Sorry. I'm also the voice of a character from an audio drama called The Fox and the Fedora. And I'm plugging that because it's starting its third season in a couple of weeks, and that's awesome.
Nice.
And let me see. Also, might recognize me from certain fan stuff, such as the voice of Eggman and the Sonic and Knuckles show. And I am also the co-creator for Tales of Annualia.
Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second. I forgot to advertise this on Blue Sky.
Well, I already advertised it on my account, so you got at least that half covered.
Yeah, that's true, but I wanna do it again. And then once I'm done, I will tell y'all why we are here tonight.
Oh, real quick, Tricolor, apologies for your headache. I hope you feel better, and I hope you have fun going out to get food with your dad.
Aw, I'm so sorry. Also, I do apologize in advance. So, I initially was trying to get my VTuber model to actually work, but it looks like I'm going to need extra materials to actually have it move around. So, unfortunately, it's just going to be a still image for now, but that's okay. I'll get that taken care of next time.
Right. If it helps, I do know a handful of people that also have PNG tubers that might be able to lend some assistance, but that's something we could talk about another day.
Yeah, in the meantime, so, as y'all know, it is December 12th, 2024. And, of course, we have holidays coming around the corner, including Christmas. And
Yes.
I figured something fun that Steve and I could do is rank our favorite Rankin and Bass Christmas specials. Now, for some who don't know, Rankin and Bass is basically a stop motion company who has basically made a lot of Christmas movies and a few others. And as janky as they were back in the day, they're still a classic.
Yeah. Well, I'd say like the jankiness, in my opinion, mainly stems from a lot of the animated affairs that they did. Like, I still think the stop motion stuff, for the most part, holds up fairly well.
Mm-hmm. So we're basically going to rank our favorite Rankin and Bass films, and they are ranked from S, which is the highest tier, to F, which is the lowest tier. Now, if for any reason we haven't seen these movies, we're just going to leave them to the side or give them their own ranking, just because
Right.
we want to be fair with all these judgments.
Also, in an instance where we cover a film that only one of us has seen, we'll basically let that other person like take priority on where they put on the ranking.
All right, sounds good. All right, 1 second.
Oh, that's nice. I hope those are some nice treats.
Ooh, nice. Oh,
Mhm.
also, so we're mostly going to be focusing on this. So if we do miss any questions you want to ask us, we apologize. So I would say the best way to get us to answer, if you want to 100% guarantee that we'll do that, or if you want us to do any voice requests, you can send
Mhm.
us super chat or coffee, and I can just if you're asking Steve to do any voice requests, I can just send the money to him later.
Okay. And don't worry, like you go ahead and focus on the list. I'll be the second pair of eyes that keeps an eye on the chat while we're doing this.
Okay, so first we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, this one's pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, it was made exactly 60 years ago, and a lot of the voice actors that were in it, with the exception of Burl Ives, were Canadian.
That's nice, eh?
Mm-hmm. Now, I always found this movie to be very interesting. I think there were times where, back when I was a kid, the Abominable Snowman would scare me because they did a really good job implementing the creepiness to him. But
Yeah.
I don't know for sure if I would rank it as my number one. But I do think it's a gemstone at best. Plus, you can never go wrong with the famous meme of "Why weren't you at elf practice?"
Practice. It was at that point they met Yukon Cornelius, scallywag of the North.
Okay, so as far as rankings go, I think I'm gonna give Rudolph an A.
Hmm. I'm I'm a little uncertain if it's an A myself. Like I think it's a classic for a reason, but I don't know if I'd rank it like super high on my personal list. I think I think I'd say at worst it might be a B, but again, I don't want to be too mean to it. Like I'm fine with it being either an A or a B personally.
I think B's good. We can put it at B. All right. Next is the little drummer boy. Oh boy, I've got a lot to say about this one.
Well, I'll let you take the realm in that because this is one of the few that I haven't seen.
That's fair. So the little drummer boy. I love the songs. I love Aaron as a character. You know, he's been through a lot. He lost his parents, so on and so forth. The only things I kind of don't like about it are I think the story itself is a little boring, and characters like Harriman and his lackey. Why are they white? Why are they white?
White people? What madness is this?
I don't know. Like, I think it's okay, but I just, I don't know. I'm torn between like a high D or a low C.
I'd say those are fairly reasonable. Oh,
Mm, I think I'll go with C.
okay.
All right. Next is Frosty the Snowman. You want to take the reins on this one?
Sure. Definitely a classic of classics. Like, honestly, I would say out of all the air quotes, popular Rankin Bass ones, I think this one might be my favorite. I just really like Frosty as a character. I just think he's very sweet and likable. And the art style I just really like. There's just a pleasantness to it that I just can't help but enjoy to pieces. I personally have no problem saying that this is an A tier.
Yeah, I would also put it at A, and here's why. Like, it's really good. Frosty himself is like so adorable, and this is also a tearjerker. Spoiler alert: this is a
Yeah.
heckin' tearjerker. So yeah, A. Okay, next is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Oh, I remember watching this one religiously because something about the origin story of Kris Kringle just left me very intrigued. And you had really good characters like Burgermeister Meisterburger, Old Man Winter, etc. Like, I don't know, I just really love all of them. I wouldn't say it's the best film, but it's definitely a good one. So I would personally put it at A.
All right. I'm trying to remember. Was this one of the specials that you and I watched together years ago? I want to make sure I'm not confusing it with something else.
Maybe? I have no idea. It's been a while.
Okay, because like I definitely remember that notion of like it being an origin story for Santa, and um, yeah, honestly, I think it's fairly solid. I can't really think of anything. It's funny because it's been so long since I've seen it. I can't think of like anything that really stands out to me in a particularly positive or negative manner. So I think I might end up just putting it at B for me.
Alright, so we'll average it out to B. Here's the most popular classic A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Hmm. Well, actually, you know what? I forgot that that technically counted. I rescind my previous statement. Like, as much as I like Frosty, this is my favorite of the popular Rankin Bass ones. Like, easily S tier.
Oh, definitely. You know what? I think I'm gonna put it at S tier as well. Uh, the Miser Brothers. They
Exactly.
they
Like
stole the show.
they absolutely like both their songs are, even though they're essentially the same song, just slightly different lyrics. They're both bangers, and I honestly, I want to say I like them equally, but I guess that a little lightning round thing. A snow miser or heat miser for you?
Heat Miser.
Okay. What about you, Chet? Do you prefer snow miser or heat miser?
That is the question.
Like I know Sam, a friend of ours, she definitely has a strong preference to the snow miser, talking about how she loves how much of a gremlin he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess with that, actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna
Hold
take
up.
a brief intermission just to share this on Discord because I realized I forgot to do so.
Ah, no worries.
I was not prepared for this, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No one's upset with you. I mean, you said yourself this is a relatively chill stream in the grand scheme of things. So I don't think anyone's expecting like a lot of like uptight professionalism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's that. Thank you for sharing, Steve. I appreciate it.
Of course. Okay, so we got one vote for Snow Miser in the chat. Anyone else want to try to balance out the voting?
I should start putting polls in my live chats. I know that's a thing I can do because I'm monetized.
Actually, hang on. Let me see if I can do it for you. I cannot do it for you.
That's okay.
I figured I could since I have moderation status, but I guess that's only reserved for the person that owns the channel.
Probably. But I'll remember that for next time.
Alrighty.
Alright, so I went ahead and shared this. So, okay. So the next movie is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I do remember seeing it in college. Like, this was around the holidays. I think it was an animation class. And not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of boring. Like, even with the mice characters, it was just, eh.
Mm.
So I'd kind of give it a D. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'll probably side with you on D. I don't really remember a whole lot of this one either.
Yeah. Alright, what's this one? I don't think I've seen that one.
Something Christmas.
You know what? Actually, the rank will go from S to D, and the F tier will just be the ones that we haven't seen.
Alright, that's fair.
Yeah, so. And I see one with a gladiator. I feel like I've seen that before. I just don't remember the name of the movie.
Let me see. I could try to pull up like a filmology of Rankin Bass to help you out here.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Let's see. Rankin Bass. There we go. Filmography. Okay, now franchises. I'm looking at actual. Oh, it has its own separate thing. Let me see. There is. Let me see. There's Return to Oz, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Ballad of Smokey, Cricket of the Hearth. Though I don't know. I don't know where that's represented on the list, but I already have half a mind of what I'm going to say about that one.
Okay.
Let me see. It's a little bit weird for me because I don't know if these are like listed in chronological order because I don't know like which one would go next on which way.
It's okay.
Let me see here. Hmm. I'm going to assume it's probably Little Drummer Boy Book 2.
Huh. I have not seen that one.
That do. Let's see. You're gonna cry and not. Well, what's wrong?
Aw. Oh, I think because they got jump scared by an ad.
Oh, right. I missed that. That's right, because I'm so used to that happening on Twitch. I forgot that could technically happen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Then again, I have an ad block, so that they're usually pretty good about blocking them on YouTube. For some reason, they cannot penetrate Twitch's ads, though.
Yeah. But yeah, you take care of yourself, Navita, okay? Give yourself a bit of a
Yeah.
break. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Tiger said it could also be the story of the first Christmas snow. I mean, either way, I kind of just don't recall.
No worries.
So, do we want to put it at F for now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if anything, we could always come back to these for later and rearrange. All right, next
Yeah.
is so this is the movie with Crystal, the Mrs. Frosty the Snowman.
Right.
I thought this one was adorable. Like, Crystal is so cute and just as, clueless and goofy as Frosty is, so they're made for each other. And Jack Frost is an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, but he is the villain, so it is proper to address him as such. I do agree it's cute. I'm I'm not sure if I'm like fully as enamored in it as Jordan is. I feel like I think just to be charitable, I'd still put it at B, but probably on like the lower end of B, if that makes sense.
I mean, I would put it at A personally, but I guess B's an okay placement. Alright. Next is Nestor, the long eared donkey. Oh, I remember seeing this one and I felt so bad for the donkey.
Oh, you poor little baby.
And it's confirmed that he's the one who helped carry Mary to the Temple of Bethlehem to help the birth of Jesus. So, I wouldn't exactly give it an A or a B. Well, maybe it's more like high C, low B at best. What do you think?
I'd say that's fair. Although it is funny because it's like if I had a nickel for every time I saw a short about donkeys that ended up being the one that aided in the birth of Jesus, I'd have two. This one and a small one, the one that Don Bluth did before he left Disney.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Nestor, by the way?
I think I remember. I do remember seeing it. I don't remember like it from like beginning to end, but I think I remember enough of it to generally agree with your opinion. So I'd say high C would be fitting.
All right, so we'll put it at C. Oh, this looks familiar. It looks like it's A Christmas Carol.
Yes, it is. Actually, you know what? I don't remember because I want to say there were like two of them that they did. I think that was the one I was thinking of with Cricket and the Heath, or the
Cricket
Hearth.
of
I
the
mean,
Hearth.
yeah, Cricket at the Hearth. Um, this one I don't think I have seen.
I definitely haven't seen it, but I am a huge Christmas Carol fan. And if I see something that's Christmas Carol related, I know I will like it at best. So, I mean, maybe it's not really fair to rank it just because I haven't seen it yet, so I'll just put it at the bottom for now.
Okay. You know what? It's funny. Sam found herself something she'll probably do herself, but I think something you might get a kick out of. There was an entire tier list dedicated to Christmas Carol adaptations.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so the next one is another very popular one, Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the baby. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of Baby New Year being the one who helps people to live forever and stay young forever, that's a pretty high undertaking. Plus, you
Mm-hmm.
can't go wrong with Rudolph. You just can't.
Yeah. Mm. Let
Also,
me see.
hi Ash.
Hello, Ash. I'm thinking this one I might also put in B.
Okay, I think I feel like I would need to watch it again, but there were some of the songs that I thought were kind of boring, but the overall message probably, makes me like it. So, I'll put it at B.
Okay.
Next is Jack Frost.
Mm.
So, this one I've
Um.
seen a couple of times. It's basically a story where Jack Frost decides to come to Earth to basically court this girl who says that she loves Jack Frost. And, he spends a day being human, trying to be an adult. It's complicated, but like, there's also this one character named Koopa Kraus who's basically like this Russian king who, like, all he does is make metal stuff and he's just a curmudgeon. I
Oh.
think the funniest thing is when he has like a little dummy. It's so cute. So, I mean, this is a personal A for me, but I also have it's a bit of a low A for me because Jack doesn't get the girl at the end. Sorry, spoiling, but Jack doesn't get the girl, and I'm kind of upset about it.
I mean, did they? Is there like an explanation as to why he doesn't get the girl?
Because the girl marries a knight.
Ah. Well, is it like an arranged marriage, or is it something that like she herself wants, or like how exactly does the knight fare in like this like relationship status?
Basically, the knight is like, you know, uh, they basically form the relationship as the movie progresses, but we don't see a lot of it. It just kind of happens. But
Okay.
they like what do you call it? Basically, when Jack turns back into his snowy self, he blows on
Hmm.
the girl's bouquet, and that's basically like her way of saying an old friend kissed the bride. So she got like a bit of a closure, if that makes any sense.
I get you. Because like I was wondering if it was a similar instance of like say like you can vouch if this is an accurate comparison or not, but I was for some reason the thing that I was thinking in the mind was something along the lines of like say the friendship between like Quasi Esmeralda and Phoebus and Hunchback, where it's like even though like there was a bit of a romantic tease, like at the end, like Quasi didn't necessarily care if he ended up with Esmeralda or not, just as long as both his friends were happy.
Mm. I don't know if that's fully the inspiration, like fully a comparison, but I can see some elements of it based on your description.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm guessing you haven't seen Jack Frost.
Um, I think I did, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like a lot of it kind of didn't take a permanent hold on my conscious. So I
Mm.
think on the safe side, I'm probably gonna say maybe C.
And that'll average to B. Okay, sounds good. All right, and this is something that we saw like I want to say a few months ago. Pinocchio.
Um, oh, I actually didn't know they made Pinocchio.
Were you with us when we watched it? Because I remember seeing it with the guys.
I think that might have been one that I skipped.
Hmm. Well, I'll say this: it's charming, pretty cute. It's pretty faithful to the book. But I'm just gonna be quite frank, I like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio a lot better. So, uh,
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, honestly, I really do need to rewatch Del Toro's Pinocchio because I haven't seen it all the way to the end.
hmm. So I'll give it a C at best.
Okay.
Ooh, Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July.
Now, this is something that I do have quite a bit of an opinion on because I do remember this is one of the ones that stuck out to me the most when we did our Rankin Bass marathon, where I like the moments between Frosty and Rudolph themselves. Like, I think they're perfectly fine, relatively consistent with how they have been in the specials up to that point. I feel like this is an instance where, like, the film had a lot of ambition that it didn't quite know how to really utilize. Like, its focus felt like it was kind of all over the place. It's also one of the longer Rake and Bass specials, and I think that uneven focus lets the uneven focus leads to a lot of it being kind of a drag. So I'm gonna say, probably, personally speaking, I might put it at D.
You put it at D, okay? Let me think. I've only seen the whole thing once, and I thought it was fine, but I don't have too much recollection of it other than that gunslinging cowgirl, which I thought was a pretty cool character. Um, I think I'm also gonna put it at D.
Alrighty.
Now, this one I have not seen, but it looks like Father Time with a New Year baby. I'm guessing it has something to do with Father Time.
Probably. I don't remember this one much, so I think it's safe to put this one in F.
Yeah. Frosty's Return. S, S, S.
All right, hold your horses, Cowbean. I do like Frosty's Return. Like, I think it is definitely very charming in a vacuum. I don't know how I would rank it as like a continuation of the original Frosty because like Frosty in this one, like John Goodman does a fantastic job voicing him, but he feels like a much different character here than he did in the first one. Like he feels a lot more like street savvy is the best way I could describe it. So it's one of those things where it's like in a vacuum, I think it's wonderful, but I don't know if it's like the smoothest transition from the first film, if that makes any sense. But still, as its own, like I would definitely put it like at the very least on the same tier as the original.
Well, here's the thing. I think this might actually be a spin off. I don't think it's a direct link to Frosty the Snowman, the first movie. That's how I see it anyway. But what I love about it, I love John Goodman. He's a great voice actor and actor.
Hmm.
I love the characters. I love the story. I love Mr. Twitchell. He's hilarious. And
Yeah.
what do you call it? I love that it's in the style of the Peanuts cartoons. Like, I think one of the animators from the Peanuts worked on this, so that's
Um,
awesome.
Not even just a animator. I think it's the exact same studio that produced the Peanuts shorts.
Yeah, so I like that it's different. So I personally would put it at A, but since Steve put it at A, I would personally put it at S, but since Steve put it at A, I'll put it right next to it.
Right. Like I still think it's great. It's just one of those things where it's like I don't know. I think it's one of those days where I kind of flip flop on which one of the two I prefer.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of Frosty, there's one more film it looks like we got in the choices The Legend of Frosty the Snowman. Now, I think this one is supposed to be a bit of a follow up to the first film. Like, basically, there's this kid named Tommy Tinkerton who basically, he's living in a place that's under very strict rules and the principal's like very controlling, and then he sees this hat that apparently belonged to his father because his father knew Frosty when he was a kid. And
Hmm.
fun fact, Frosty in this is voiced by Bill Fagerbakke, aka Patrick Star.
Right. And it's kind of funny because Tom Kenny's also in this. He voices the main kid's father.
Yeah, so it's a nice SpongeBob and Patrick reunion. But it is a bit kooky for my tastes. Like, I think it's fine. Like, the story is also pretty interesting. I think I would put it at low A, high B at best.
Hmm. You know what? I feel like I'm a slight bit of the opposite, where it's like I do think like it's a fine enough kid special. I'm just not sure. Like tonally is completely different from the others. Like I don't think it's quite as charming as the original Frosty. You know, in spite of the best efforts of everyone involved. I don't know if I like it quite as much. I think I would put it somewhere in mid to low. Actually, yeah, just straight up maybe C tier, in my opinion.
Okay. Um, let's see. I said high B. You said C. So I think it'll average to B. All right.
Yeah, we can go ahead and put it at B.
All right. So this is where we're at the moment. So I'm just gonna quickly look up the other movies, and then we're going to like go back and see which out of each column is better than the other, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Just give me one moment. I will also say Rankin and Bass also did some fairy tale adaptations, and I remember one of them was Puss in Boots, which I thought was pretty cool.
Aw.
I'm trying to remember who voices Puss, though. I have no recollection.
You know, there's a part of me that wants to say William Shatner, but I know that's an entirely different Puss in Boots movie.
Remember the one with Michael York?
I think I do.
It's
Like,
the one with the
it,
poor
it's
animation.
it's funny. Like, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, it's like very inconsistent. Sometimes it's dirt poor, but other times it's like surprisingly competent. So it's like very back and forth.
I just always loved that one because it was like a classic.
Oh, this is interesting. Sorry, I was just taking a second to look at the group chat. For people that don't know, right around the time we're doing this, the Game Awards started, and apparently it started off with a game reveal that kind of surprised a lot of us. But I'm gonna leave that separate from this.
All right. Would you excuse me for one moment? I have to use the bathroom.
No worries, you go ahead. Let's see. Rankin Bass also did the Hobbit cartoon, which influenced Mip's design in the Enchanted Forest of Smiling Friends. Oh yeah, I know. I am very aware of like Rankin Bass's contribution to Lord of the Rings. Where there's a will, there's a way. I forgot they also did Hobbit though. I thought they only did Return of the King. Return of the King, I mean. They also did The Last Unicorn. I don't think I've seen that. I hate that that melody's stuck in my head now. Like, yeah, I know it's not even the full song, but just that specific part of the song is just now stuck in my head. So I guess while we continue to wait on Jordan, what's everyone's thoughts on our tier list so far? Like, are there any that you are in agreement with? Any you feel like are ranked higher or lower than you would expect? Like, I think the only thing I can imagine that's like fairly unanimous from a lot of people is our S tier ranking because you can't really beat Year Without Santa Claus. Neutral. Okay, so you don't agree or disagree with anything that we have here? I would rank almost all of them S.
I'm back.
Hello. Just getting Chat's opinion on what we have formulated here so far.
Okay.
Now, when you say all, okay, I think I've only seen two of these movies here. Do you know which two are the ones you're only mostly familiar with?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the other films that we, decided to not rank are called, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
No worries.
Okay, so now that that's done, so we agree that A Year Without a Santa Claus is the best Rankin and Bass film.
Right, that's what I was saying earlier. I feel like that's one that's like undisputed for a lot of people.
All right, now the question is Frosty the Snowman, the first movie, better than Frosty Returns?
That's really tough for me because the thing is, I like them both equally, but for different reasons. Like, I feel like the first one definitely has like a charm and timelessness that I don't think can really be replicated. But the second one also has like its own, charm and personality to it that's unlike the first one. So like it really is an instance where I think I might flip flop depending on the day of which one I think is better. I think as of today, I might lean more towards the original, but again, they're both still fairly neck and neck for me.
All right, I am personally more fond of Frosty Returns, not because I don't like the first movie. It's just that that one was a tearjerker and this one's more comical, so I would go more with the comedy than the tragedy.
Right.
So I guess we're gonna have to find a way to dispute this. I'll flip a coin.
I'm sure we'll come to a civil understanding.
All right. Call heads or tails.
Heads.
Okay. Siri, flip coin.
Don't have your own coin to flip. Sheesh.
It's tails, so I win.
Okie dokie.
All right. So Frosty Returns is ahead of Frosty the Snowman just by a margin, and that's okay. All right.
Yeah.
So next in the B tier. So, do you believe that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is better than Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
I'm going to say yes, if only by proxy of I can remember more of it than I can the other one.
Yeah, I think Rudolph is slightly better in terms of story and songs and just how charming it is in general. Do
Right.
you think it's better than the one with Crystal?
Do I think Rudolph is?
Yes.
I'd still say yes.
You'd still say yes?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would have to watch this again, but I guess as of today. Oh no, sorry. Let me scratch that. Do you think the one with Crystal is better than Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
Hmm. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I think I might lean more towards Santa Claus is Coming to Town because I feel like its story is a little bit more deep. Might not be the right word, but I feel like there's more to its story in comparison to the Crystal one. Like that one's cute in its own right, but I feel like it's a little bare bones by comparison, in my opinion.
Okay. Do you think the movie with Frosty and Crystal is better than Rudolph's Shiny New Year? I say no.
Yeah, I'll say no too.
Do you think Rudolph's Shiny New Year is better than Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Do you believe the movie with well, you don't know the Jack Frost movie, so I guess we'll leave that at a neutral party for now. Do you
Okay.
believe the movie with Frosty and Crystal is better than The Legend of Frosty the Snowman?
Honestly, I think yes.
Yeah, I would agree. And honestly, I think Jack Frost is better than The Legend of Frosty the Snowman, so I think what we have here is a good order.
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, C tier. Little Drummer Boy. Is it better than Nestor? In my opinion, no.
Okay, so move Nestor up.
Okay. Do we think The Little Drummer Boy is better than Pinocchio? Considering I've only seen the movie once, I'm gonna say yes for now.
Okay, I think Drummer Boy's fine where it's at.
Alright. Do we believe that 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is better than Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July?
I'm going to say yes because I still stand by a lot of the problems that I have with Frosty meets Rudolph.
Personally, I think Christmas in July is better, so let's flip another coin. Go ahead and call it.
Uh, did I say head? Did I say tails last time?
No, you said heads.
Then I'll go with tails.
Siri, flip a coin. Yep, you win.
Yay!
And of course, we're leaving this one. Actually, can I? I can delete this. All right.
Oop.
So this is where we stand. I think that's pretty good. What do you think, chat?
I'd say it's pretty good. Like honestly, like I think the chat will be fine with anything we have as long as we put year without Santa and S tier.
All right. So I think we're done with that. It's only 7:43. Do we want to take any questions at this time?
Yeah, I'm open to questions.
All right.
Actually, you know what's something that I could share. I don't know if you can share my screen share on OBS or whatnot, but I wanted to show off the Christmas Carol ranking that I made.
Okay.
Okay, so just as a heads up, it's a little bit on the bare bones side, if only because the tier list I found has a bunch of selections and I've only seen so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go ahead and share anyway what I have ranked with all of the Christmas Carol movies.
All right. Give me a second. No capture. Discord. Okay, that's good for now. Never mind these. Oh yeah, these are pretty good rankings. So, what we got here? So your S tier is Muppets Christmas Carol. Pretty good, pretty good.
Very solid. Like I still think, like even to this day, it holds up exceptionally well. Like it's both a Christmas Carol adaptation and a Muppets story. And yes, every year we do watch the extended version that has the cut song.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what's in the A tier?
Okay, the A tier, this one is a more direct adaptation of A Christmas Carol with Patrick Stewart as Scrooge. And this one I watched with my mom a few weeks ago because this is her personal favorite version of A Christmas Carol. And honestly, I think it holds up very well. Like, I think Patrick is actually a very good Scrooge.
I did hear about it in a podcast, and I've listened to some voice clips. Like, I heard that it's a really, really good adaptation.
Yeah, it is. Okay, and next to it is Mickey's Christmas Carol, another certified classic. I really love. It's so funny, like, compared to a lot of these other adaptations, this one condenses a lot of it, but I think it condenses it in, like, really smart ways, and it really just solidifies why Scrooge is one of my favorite Disney characters.
Oh, Scrooge McDuck is great. Also, Goofy as Marley.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, it shows Goofy's acting range superbly.
All right, B tier. So I did hear about the Netflix Scrooge. I heard not so good things about it. I heard it was awful, and I did see a few
Um,
clips, and I thought it was okay at best. But I need to see the actual movie just to know for sure if it's actually bad. I think it could be good. Like I see you have it at a good place.
yeah, honestly, I feel like mine might be a little better faith than a lot of people do. Like, it's funny, you say you hear negative things about it. I tend to hear like more overall mixed opinions about it. Like I've heard some good things.
Mm-hmm.
Like for one thing, like the character designs are great.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the character designs in this are made by a Nicholas Cole, which for people that don't know is the main character designer for the Spyro Reignited trilogy and Crash 4 It's About Time. So yeah, that should give you an idea of what to expect as far as like visual appeal goes. And the songs, I don't remember all the songs in it, but the ones I do remember, I do think were pretty well made.
Mm-hmm. I do remember one where Scrooge sang, and it was like a big falsetto kind of moment, which was like, whoa.
Like I'd probably need to give it another viewing because I've only seen it once, but when I saw it, it wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting it to be. Like I was actually genuinely surprised by how okay it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah, this one, the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol.
Yeah, the Jim Carrey Christmas special. This one is just very much a nuts akimbo version of it. Like it goes to a lot of places that I'm surprised I don't see a lot with a lot of the other adaptations. Jim Carrey, shocker of shocks, is an absolute gem in this. The fact that he plays so many characters is very amusing and just I don't know, it's just another very good opinion if you want like a more straightforward adaptation. Even if it can be like a little cartoony in places, I still think it does a good enough job to be a solid representation of Christmas Carol.
Yes, I just have some problems with the animation and some of the casting. Like, I think Jim Carrey as Scrooge is great. Like, he does a good job with the character. But I felt like he didn't need to voice everyone, if that makes sense.
Well, the only characters he really voices are Scrooge and the Three Spirits, which I'm not against the idea of them all being the same actor. I feel like that could work if you give it to an actor that has an especially powerful range. Like, I think it'd be like a very interesting idea to explore. But I can understand why you wouldn't be like quite enthused about it because I feel like I think the only bad offender in that regard is Christmas Past. Like I feel like that one could have been given to someone else, but I was perfectly fine with him being Christmas Present.
Yeah, I thought he was good at Christmas Present and Scrooge. Christmas Past, I always envisioned them as a child. And even in the novel, they have them written as a child, so it didn't make any sense to me to just give him some not raspy, breath,
Crispy,
breathy, ethereal voice of a man. It didn't seem to fit well with me.
that's fair.
But also, it's okay at best, but I'll stand by my opinion that out of all the movies that this particular animation company has made, Polar Express is the best one.
Oh yeah, I really like Polar Express is still really good, and Adventures of Tintin's also really good. That's one I definitely recommend people check out.
I still need to see that one.
Well, we'll have to rectify that someday.
Okay, and what's the next one?
This is the All Dogs Christmas Carol, and this is going to be one of those hear me out selections. It's mostly for the songs. I'm gonna be honest. The music in this special goes way harder than it really deserves to be. Like, there's some genuinely great songs in this special, and that's why it only barely breaks into the B tier for me.
Okay. Uh, oh, and I see Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol in rank C. That was a trip.
Yeah, that was one I recently watched with some of the guys. It's fine, but I don't think it's particularly special, if that makes any sense. Like, well, first off, I don't have an especially strong attachment to Mr. Magoo. Like, he's fine, but he's not like a character that I like would really go out of my way to see. Like, he plays the part of Scrooge fine. It's just that I don't know. To me, it's just one of those versions of Christmas Carol where it's fine, but I don't think it really does a whole lot to stand out from other versions, even though they're animated versions.
Yeah, like, I know my mom got this for me for Christmas, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, one could argue that that's kind of the gambit with Mr. Magoo in general.
Like, I feel like you have to be a fan of Mr. Magoo to actually watch this or get a better enjoyment out of it. But I will say, I did like the song that the family sang with the razzleberry dressing.
That was actually a bit of a running gag when we were watching it because that was Sam's favorite part. Anytime they mentioned raspberry dressing
It's just
or filling, I
adorable.
mean.
Oh, I thought it was dressing.
No, it might have been filling because again, it's supposed to be for like desserts.
All right. Well, anyway, let's see. It looks like a
Next,
Flintstones Christmas Carol is next.
yes, it is. The only reason I have it ranked as low as it is because I've only seen it once. I really want to watch it again so I could see if it holds up as well as it does. From what I remember, I think it's fine. Like I like the gimmick of it being like a literal play that everyone's putting on, and like the play also kind of doubles as a bit of a character arc for Fred to get over like the Christmas grumps that he's going through. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like that as an angle. I don't know if the rest of it is like especially good, or at least as far as like the Flintstone standards concerned. Like again, I'm only putting it under C for the sake of like just placeholder. Like I feel like it'll either be remaining there or go to B. I'll have to get back to you on that.
I saw this one too, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I personally liked it a little bit more than the Mr. Magoo one, and I don't know. I thought it was a little bit interesting that they had a running gag where everyone was getting the bedrock bug, and not Velma, Wilma was basically having to play every single part because everyone kept getting sick.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny because I think that also kind of ties into like Fred's character development of him appreciating his wife more.
Mm-hmm. Yes, eat a
Yeah, like I
spoonful
said,
of
I
peanut
am gonna
butter.
have yes, eat the peanut butter. Eat the peanut butter, eat it.
Eat it. Sorry, you were saying?
I know, it's fine. I was just saying that, yeah. Like I said, this one is subject to change, but for now, I'm just gonna keep it there for the sake of a placeholder. Apologies for if you hear dogs, by the way. They like to get antsy during this time of the evening.
That's okay. And what's the last one in C ranking?
That is Bah Humduck, a Looney Tunes flavored Christmas Carol. As you can see, there's two of them that I have listed on here. This one I'm going to give a bit more credit because I feel like it does a lot more with the concept of a Christmas Carol compared to Bugs' Christmas Carol. Because, well, for one thing, I really like the whole notion of like Daffy being Scrooge, and the way that they do it is like he's like the CEO of like this mega mall,
Mm-hmm.
and like Bugs is kind of like this, kind of not dissimilar to how he usually is, kind of like an omnipresent prankster that helps push the narrative along. I like the wider array of Looney Tunes that are demonstrated in it. Some genuinely somber moments, like for example, a bit where because of Daffy being Scrooge, Marvin's not going to be able to go home to Mars for Christmas, and it shows like a bit of him like looking through a telescope at Mars, and he's just like really depressed because he doesn't get to get home. It's like, for Looney Tunes, it's actually very heartfelt and kind of sad.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah. Well, again, I think this is going to be another one where I'd have to rewatch it again to reevaluate to make sure I have it at the right spot. But for now, I'd feel content with it being where it's at. Like, good for what it is, but it's not something that I would like go out of my way to recommend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's the last one here?
The last one is Bugs Bunny's Christmas Carol. This is the second of the ones that the Looney Tunes did. This one, it's in a vacuum, it's fine, but as a Christmas Carol adaptation, it is very neutered. First off, it's hands down the shortest of all the Christmas Carol adaptations. Like I think it only just barely cracks 8 minutes, and they condense like I mentioned how the Mickey one condenses a lot in smart ways. This one I think kind of condenses a lot in lazy ways. There's only one ghost that visits Scrooge, who in this thing is Yosemite Sam, which I'll give him credit. If there's going to be a Looney Tune that's Scrooge, I think Yosemite Sam's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it mostly just boils down to like instead of like Scrooge needing to learn a lesson about being better to humanity, it's just more so a matter of like Scrooge needs to learn a lesson to be less of a jerk to Porky Pig.
Aw, poor Porky.
Yeah, and like I said, like they condense it so much to like there's only one ghost that visits him, and Bugs is masquerading as the one ghost that's trying to spook Sam. It gets resolved like fairly quickly. It's like I'm probably being harsher to it than it really deserves, considering it's just a bona fide short.
Hmm.
But I feel like as an adaptation of Christmas Carol, it could have done so much better, and it technically did with Bah Humduck, but even still.
Okay, that makes sense. So,
Mm,
I've seen there's other adaptations of Christmas Carol that I've personally seen and heard that are not on this list. Like, for example, there's one by that had Tim Curry as Scrooge. I think it's just called A Christmas Carol. It's an animated special, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Personally, like, the voice acting was good, but
Trying to think, is this one it? Because this one has like a lot of them on here.
yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yep. And oh wait, I see the VeggieTales Easter Carol. That one was really good.
I actually have not seen that, which is weird considering I grew up with VeggieTales.
I'll have to show it to you sometime. I have it on DVD. And
That'd be neat.
one that I heard from an audio drama. It's probably not going to be on this list, but so last year there was a radio play that had Sean Astin starring as Scrooge, and needless to say, I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought the voice was a
Hmm.
little too young for Scrooge personally, but it was still really good. Like, it was read very well, and
Mm-hmm.
it had a really nice cast. Like, in the scene with the family, with Bob Cratchit's family, one
Mm-hmm.
of the sons, not Tiny Tim, but one of the sons is actually voiced by Paul Castor Jr., who's gone to voice many roles, including the Beast from Belle, the 2021 animated anime film.
Oh right, that's neat.
Yeah, it was really cool, honestly. I highly recommend it. It's on Spotify.
All right, I'll be sure to keep an eye out for that. And one that is not on this tier list that I know a lot
Oh,
of people keep recommending is Scrooge with Bill Murray.
oh yeah.
I had the opportunity to see it. I didn't get the chance to do it. A lot of that having to do with the fact that, like, bless her heart, my dog Lola, she's been kind of wrecking my sleep schedule in half. So I keep conking out during a lot of the Christmas movies we've been having the past couple of weeks.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I mean, it can only be helped so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess on that note, we are basically finished with our list, and the stream is finished too. Thank you all
Hmm.
so much for, stopping on by, seeing our list. I'm just going to pull it up one more time for people to see. Um, so, for those who are following Jazzy Oliver, so she couldn't stream tonight because she currently has a show to do, but I know she's going to be streaming on Sunday and playing the Undertale slash uh, an Anime Insanity crossover game called Limelight. So be sure to check that out. Um, and of
Hmm.
course, she'll be streaming Kingdom Hearts as well as another stream that we're going to do next Sunday, which will be another tier stream. I will not reveal what it is yet. That's going to be for her to decide. But in the
Hmm.
meantime, Steve, do you want to tell these guys like what you've been working on or where to follow you and stuff?
Okay. As of recently, I released the newest episode in this collab series that I'm doing with an artist friend of mine, Josh, who people online might recognize as Josh Dam. He has an ongoing original comic series called I Was a Teenage Monster, which is, really cute slice of life series about these monster kids, just living life and whatnot. I recently released a dub of one of the holiday comics that he made for it, just a few days ago, actually. Aside from that, beginning hard at work on a couple of other things, including getting some work done on the Tales of Annualia prologue. I can't promise that it'll be out before the year's over, but it is at the very least definitely going to be one of the first things that you'll see from us in the new year.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to check that out when it comes out, we do have a separate channel dedicated to Tales of Annualia. We'll leave it in the description below where you can go check it out, as well as previous videos we've done that are both a mix of audio dramas and comic dubs.
Right.
All right. But until then, I have been Jordy,
I have been Steven.
and we will see y'all